This is Zeus. Welcome to the middle of the night. Man, what a day we had today, and a day of total amazement, honestly. I'm totally taken by it because it was an example of love being portrayed in two different ways, and forgiveness. And was thinking about something that I personally have had to process in my life, and based upon a relationship that I had made with a friend of mine. She's absolutely beautiful, and didn't quite work out. And I tried to figure out what it was that caused it to not work out, and it was my fear of love. And you'd say, well, why would you fear love? Well, the song said love hurts. And once you go through lots of pain, and the people that hurt you in your life were the people closest to you, then you become kind of gun shy. And I was gun shy, even though I wanted to. Right? And I put in everything that I could, but in the same token, my vibration was pushing the person away. And you know what? I don't know what I don't know. I know that she's had to go through some stuff too, and I don't know if it had anything to do with me. But I do know that she was one of the examples of love that I seen today, and I was really happy for her. More happy than what I ever thought I could be for another person that was close to you in your life, and they get the benefits of teachings that you had shared, and then also the essence of love from God the Father that is overwhelmingly perfect in every possible way. And love does not truly hurt. Doesn't hurt at all. The only thing that hurts is my resistance to it, because why? Well, God is love, and so am I. And so my very essence always is attracted to love. It feels so fucking good. Pardon my French, but I am affluent in other languages, and French might be one of the best ones for it. So, I'll give an example, okay? And forgiveness is so key, because I cannot accept anything that I won't forgive, and mainly myself. You know, I had to forgive myself for kind of messing up that relationship, and all the other beautiful relationships with people that I had that in my mind messed it up. And I'm not saying that every relationship that I entered into was something that was supposed to be a lifelong relationship, but if any bad came from it, normally it was my perception that created the bad, and then my perception on another person made them act out, and then they became a version that I thought they were anyway, right? So was it their fault or was it my fault? You know, I'm starting to lean to the fact that it was my fault all along, because all is one. And in this booyah big mix of love that was created by our Father, anything that was distorted within my realm came from me and my power. Epigenetics, 700 trillion volts of electricity that emanates out of the human being, hue, light, or God, man, being. Look, I'm just putting pieces together so you can figure it out yourself, and I'll tell you my conclusion based upon what I see. Now, I don't know how deep it goes, but I am seeing things replicating around me like that. Literally, I have people following me. I mean, the other day, Dennis and my friend, I can't remember his name, and then a young lady by the name of Jacoa, they followed me around. And you know, I am just straightforward, and I just walk, right? And I was walking across streets, and they're like all freaking out because I don't even stop. I just look and I see it's clear, and I walk because I know that the street is always clear for me. The lights always turn green. If they don't turn green, there's nobody going, and I just go. And they were following behind me, right? And the same thing happened today. I mean, Melissa and Eduardo. Eduardo is a Mexican fellow that does construction. He was out on the street, and I was talking to Melissa. I thought she was a homeless person, honestly. And I was like, "You don't have a place to stay?" And she's like, "I'd rather like some food." And so I introduced her to the Recovery Cafe, you know, because they had some food down there. Well, she didn't like it, so then she backtracked out. She was sitting down while I was smoking my cigar. I came in, I said, "Don't you like it there?" And she goes, "Nah, not really." I thought, oh, well, okay. And Eduardo, he come out, and she goes, start talking to him, and I thought, well, I'm going to take my leave right now since you found Eduardo, and go ahead. And the thing that got me was she goes, "Let me see your chest." And he lifted up his shirt, and she looked where the heart was, and she goes, "There's a lot of pain there." And that was when I was like, "Oh, cool." And I would get up, and she goes, "Well, you can come by too. You know, come by and just relax, sit around." And now, assumptively, I thought, well, okay, if she's got a place, that's great. I'll see what it is, make sure everything's cool. So we went over there to her place, and I made dinner. She had some food, and I said, well, I can cook. So I cooked, and Eduardo took a shower. I put all his clothes in the washer, which she redid the second time. She's a professional at washing. I just throw them in there and wash it, right? And she's like, not that way. And she pulled it all out individually and did her thing. And then she was like, well, you can stay. You know, I was like, I got a meeting to go to at 8 o'clock, and then I'm going to go home on the east side. And she lives on the west side of Indianapolis, the city itself, right by the canal. I'd talked to her before. I'm sure I did a tarot reading or something with her. Anyway, as a result, she said, well, are you sure you got a place? And I said, I'm positive. I said, why would I lie to you? And she goes, well, pride. And I was like, ah. So she thinks I lied to her, and that is, I cannot change another person's perception by my words. She thinks I'm lying to her. I mean, that I have a place. I go back out really when it's super cold when you're offering me a place. Anyway, so I took my leave. Now, Eduardo was there, and also a person that lives at the same place. She got people that live there. And so then, we'll retrack. She called me up when she left a message on my phone, checking out on me, making sure I was okay. I thought that was so cool. Thank you. And I called her back and I said, you know, everything's good. You got this, man. You're doing great. Thank you so much for showing such love to a man that you've never fucking met before. Opening up your house, giving him your food, washing his clothes. I said, it's amazing. Thank you so much. You know. And as I left, I get on the bus and I pulled open my YouTube, and my friend Sherry's on there, and she's left a message. So I go on there, and she's in Cancun at a Jesus retreat with Tina Spalding. She looks so happy, so happy, so happy. You know what? I couldn't ask for anything more. I love her so much, and the reality that she's so happy, it just makes me happy. And I told her that all the time. I just want her to be happy, and I want her to know love. And she's gone through some stuff. She doesn't talk to me anymore. She blocked me on YouTube. You know, whatever. Time is what it is. So those two expressions of love, you know, the self-love, and then you've got love for another. Someone you don't even know. And then you also have the love that you have for other people that you do know. And how much am I willing to step out and do whatever it takes to show them the love? That is the question, because it really comes down to that. You know, in the teachings, it shows that the love you send is the only love you feel. You only feel what you send and what you give to others. You don't feel their love. Thank God. It'd be swallowing. But you know, that love that I feel and the love of God can be manifested into absolutely beauty. And you know what? To be that is all you need to do. Everything else is just a byproduct. You know, if the atoms that are in the field are in a perpetual state of becoming what you believe, or like Napoleon Hill said, you know, so whatever the mind of man conceives and brings itself to believe, it can achieve. Can I tell you right now that if you've got an idea in your mind and it's loving and it's caring and it's something that benefits mankind, that was an idea that you were made to come here for. That was an idea you were made to share. Now, whether you make money on it or not, I don't know. I've had so many ideas that other people have picked up on. I haven't made a cent at it. But you know what? They're beneficial to the human race. And if it benefits the human race, it benefits me. And that's got to be the only thing that I stand on. Right? Love. Love is an amazing thing. They told us that on Love Boat. And this is the Love Boat. Right? We're on a planet ship Earth. And I'm Commander Zeus. And it's the Love Boat. And we're cruising around through a sea of space. Right? High speeds. And it's all in the mind. It's all in your mind, and the illumination that you see, the hologram that you see is a perpetually changing universe that molds itself to the very vibration of you, and the vibration plates are your mind. What am I feeding into my mind? What world am I creating? I told you that in the beginning, right? Adam was placed in the garden. You were placed in the garden to create what you think. Yeah. It's kind of funny. They tell you the truth and then they slip in the little Mickey. Yeah, we put a Mickey in your drink. When you wake up in bed and you've been, gone through whatever you went through, it wasn't their fault because they told you beforehand. They just helped you get from place to place, right? And then how can you forgive that? It's kind of like the forgiveness aspect. I burned down a house when I was, I think, 5 or 6. No, it's more than 5 because I came back from Australia when I was 5. And then I left when I was 12. So I'm trying to isolate, I think probably 7 or 8, right? And a friend of my mom's was displaced. She had 2 kids, a girl and a boy. The boy was about 15, the girl was about 16, right? And the boy decided to use me as his fifi. And because I had fear inside of me speaking up my mouth, right? I let him take advantage of me. He was fucking me in the ass and sticking his dick in my mouth and whatever it may be. And what happened as a result of that, I got fucking sick. I came down with the flu, started barfing everywhere. And then I fell out of bed. I was on a bunk bed, wooden floor, sprained my neck. It was kind of it's a very interesting situation. And then as the time had progressed, eventually I burnt down the house. You see, I burnt down the house. Right? Why? Because I was acting up. I was acting up because I couldn't communicate. didn't have the necessary skills to communicate. So now, presentation, baby. You gotta forgive. So now I gotta forgive somebody that did that to me as a little kid, right? And I don't have the emotion to it anymore. And yeah, I had to forgive him. You know, he was a kid. Abuse kids. Why? Because it's what they think is the right way to do it. Nobody does it perpetually just because they're a bad sort. They do it because it was done to them. I don't know if I'll ever see him again, other than in my mind, and I don't even know what he looks like in my mind because I've buried it so damn deep. But I do offer him forgiveness and grace, and I say, you know what, bro? I hope everything's working out for you. You know, I don't know if it is, but I would pray that everything's working out and you got your mind right, no longer feeling the same way that you did about boys. But I don't know. I don't know what I don't know, but I do forgive him, and I know that it was something I had to go through because, again, it was something that needed to stack up and build and become me, right? So anyway, as we're going into all this perpetual state of forgiveness, today is the day of my amazing good fortune. Today is the day of my amazing good fortune. Not yesterday, not tomorrow, doesn't exist. Yesterday is but an imaginative state. That stuff was all imagination. It's gone, right? It didn't come back out till after I'd split up with Sherry and I understood some principles, and then the forgiveness practices and stuff like that came up. So her purpose in my life has benefited me in more ways than one. And I don't even know how everything's going to work itself out, but I know today is the day of my amazing good fortune. Remember, God is not the God of yesterday or tomorrow. He's the God of the now. It says that in the Bible too. You got all this presentation of past shit. The book of We Are Right. And it is the book of We Are Right because everybody that picks that sucker up there becomes an evangelist of saying, you need to repent. You need to put your faith in the God that I understand, or you're going to hell, right? And the book of We Are Right is nothing but wars all the way through. And I'll be personally transparent on this. When I was studying the Bible, I've had no more arguments that have been as paralyzing and damaging than any other argument in the fucking world than arguments over stupid ass scripture that people change. It's all written in Babel. It's Babel, dude. You got words that have 5 meanings to them in sentences of 10, 15 words, and you think to yourself, oh, it don't mean nothing. Yeah, it means a whole bunch because you got 35,000 different perceptive views that people can take from it, and no two eyes see things the same way. I imagine there's probably 8 billion ways you can see it that's different. So, and hence we get all the factions, schisms, Baptist, I'm Pentecostal, I'm this, I'm that. You gotta change from being a Pentecostal, you're going to hell, Bo. Or you're a Baptist, Bible thumper, you're going to hell. You know, all this stuff here, all this pointing fingers, they all forget about the 3 fingers that are pointing back at them. Dude, just chill the fuck out. That's all I can say is chill out, be the highest version of yourself, and don't judge others. You don't know what you don't know, and you have no idea what the Father thinks about me or anybody else. You know, some people get so fucking cocky, right? And they think they know, but they don't know what they don't know. You don't have a clue. You say, well, I have a clue. You don't have a clue. When you open your eyes and you look at something, you're seeing 482 billion bits of information entered your head. Problem is, you can only focus on 2,000 pieces. So out of 480 billion bits of information, you're seeing 0.000135 with the known light spectrum scale. You're not even seeing a percentage of reality. And thankfully you don't, because if you did, you'd be scared shitless and you'd never do anything. You wouldn't even leave your house, and still you couldn't even stay in your house because the things that are inside your house. You don't know what you don't know. Anyway, I don't want to be a bummer on this, but I'm just saying, you know, truthfully, to think you know is to opt out of truth. And to opt out of truth is what it is. Anyway, I just want to say, today is the day of your amazing good fortune, and you are going to win. Why? Because there ain't no other choice. You got to do it. You got to step forward. You got to be that person. You got to step out there. You got to show that love. You got to be that love. You got to do it, because you're not going to be happy without it, is the way I see. If you're not following your heart, you're not going to be happy without it, and your body will stop working for you. If you're following your heart, helping people the best you can, that's all it is. You just help them the best you can. Sometimes it's better than others. But the truth is, once you anchor in and you say, you know what, I'm going to do my best, guess what? It all works out. It all works out. God helps you all the way. Think about it. You're nothing but an apparition. People say, the Holy Spirit. Well, guess what? You are a spirit, friend. You say, what are you talking about? Well, you're made out of atoms. And the atoms themselves are nothing but electricity. And electricity itself is just a wave function, right? It's not even there, really. It's just vibrating at a certain rate of speed, and then what you see is the interpretation of the vibration that you see, right? You're actually a spirit. And the only reason why you don't go through a lot of things is because the magnet. You're a magnet. Things come to you. I noticed that in front of my apartment complex, and I walked by many. They had no leaves inside there. I had fucking 3 foot, it seemed like 3 foot of leaves piled up inside our area. I had to sweep it out. It took me about 25 minutes. You know, it is what it is. But the fact of the matter is, everything is on a magnetic base. The reason why you can't go through some things, and you go through the air is the opposite as you. Let's say you're a B, air is the A, this is a B, the table's a B, the cigarette is a B, the cigar, the cup is a B, the water is a B. They match my vibrational frequency. Now, some things can change your vibrational frequency. It depends on how much energy is coming through it, and that will change vibration. But it is what it is. So, anyway, it was a pleasure. I'm always honored to everybody, whoever comes on here, and if you're at this point in the thing, I feel that you love me, and I love you, and I want you to know that you are the best you can be right now. Perfection does exist, because in vibrational alignment, this vibration is perfect for you. And when you move into the next moment, you're now another vibrational alignment with what you are until it becomes the next, right? Anyway, peace, love, mercy, and may you be blessed in all that you do. Remember, if you find any benefit from this, please share it with others, that they might get some type of benefit too. Subscribe, and if you feel want to, you got a little extra cash, you want to show me some Christmas gratitude, money sign, Global Peace Project. I have a truck sitting out here that needs to be fixed. It's going to be about $500. So I don't know exactly what method is going to come up for me. I've been carrying art with me. It seems as though I've been carrying art. Haven't been selling it. Gave away some art today. Why? Because I felt the need and I wanted to give somebody. But anyway, peace, love, Buddha hand. Receive all the goodness that you can possibly take in, and have a blessed day. I will talk to you